Hello everyone, welcome back to Nick's Happy Place. Today I am super excited that the weather is decent out today. I can sit out here, we got our patio set up, and I can do reviews outside. And I'm also super excited to tell you about the new Cheeze-It Pepperoni Pizza. Look at that. This is original Cheeze-It flavored cracker thin crust. So this is what I'm gonna be cooking up today in my oven. I got this from, where did I get this from? Woodman's grocery store in Green Bay, Wisconsin. They do also have a ragu pizza too, which I got, which I will try to get that out sooner than later. But here's what we got right here. Want it, need it, Cheeze-It. So there we go. It claims that it cooks in 8 minutes. Bakes in 8 minutes at 450 is what it says. We will see what we got there. My eyes are a little buggy today. As you can see, I am dilated today, so I went to the eye doctor. So my eyesight's a little buggy right now. I just put like 3 drops in there just for a routine eye appointment. And today I got my brace off of my hand, or my splinter, I should say. It's still a little tender there, but hey, I'm off today, so I figure I'm just gonna kind of take it easy with this. I can't do much bending with it, at least I don't get that darn thing on. But anyways, here's what you got. Looks like you got a little cheddar cheese. Doesn't got a whole lot of cheese on it for being a Cheeze-It pizza, but I guess it's all about the crust. This is probably like one big Cheeze-It, but I am gonna bake this up. I'm not just gonna eat it like this. Although it'd be interesting to see. The sauce looks pretty decent on there. It looks like a fair amount of sauce. Pepperoni toppings, looks like a fair amount of toppings on there. So yeah, so we're just gonna go in. I'm gonna actually go in. I am gonna go in and I'm gonna throw this in the oven. I'm gonna cook this up and I will be right back. You won't even know I'm gone. So I'll be right back. And just like that, I am back with a cooked pizza. I had this in there for like 9 minutes. I put this in. I didn't cut it yet because I figured I could show you what it looks like otherwise. It looks beautiful. The one thing is I smelled, as I was cooking this, I could smell the Cheeze-It flavor illuminating through my house. So there is the bottom. I'm just gonna cut it up and give it a try, but look at that. That looks nice. It didn't look like there's a lot of cheese when I took it out of the package, but the cheese did spread across nicely. Like I said, there's a fair amount of pepperoni. It took about 9 minutes to cook it. One thing I did notice off in the box there. Let's see here. That is the brand Palermo's. Is that how they say that? Palermo's branded. So this is the brand behind the pizza, which I've had their other pizzas before. They're pretty decent. And it does also come in too, just letting you know, it does come in different flavors. You get the cheese, and then you got like a taco pizza. Sorry, like I said, my eyes are still messed up from those drops. So yeah, 4 cheese, cheddar jack supreme. So you can look for those. As far as cost, I think this was like $6.99, I want to say. So, but other than that, I got my pizza cutter here. Handy dandy cutter. I'm just gonna cut this up. I may as well do it in the 9s. 9 pieces there. I'll cut it square since it's a square pizza, otherwise it'll turn out awkward. Let's see here, and then we'll dig in deeper on the crust and see what we got. Not gonna lie, this looks pretty good. Let's see here. Not the perfect cut job, but I'm gonna go off on a corner here so you guys can see what we got there. Yeah, a beautiful crust on that. So there is that. Hopefully it's focusing. And like I said, 9 minutes at 450. That's what it is. What it took. Pretty sturdy crust there. Nice and thin too. I love a good thin crust. Hopefully the sauce is good. Like I said, the smell of bacon is just Cheeze-It smells filled up my house there. So I'm going to see how good this tastes. Hopefully it's delicious. You can see, if that is going to focus, you can see like the little layers in there of like the Cheeze-It. They did do a phenomenal job with this crust though, because this is a Cheeze-It pizza, and that crust is 100% Cheeze-It there. There's no doubt. If you tasted this without knowing that's a Cheeze-It pizza, you'd be saying, why the heck does a crust taste like Cheeze-It? Because that's how good this is as far as nailing a Cheeze-It. That's perfection. Oh, I think I had my mic turned off. There we go, now we're connected to the other mic. Sorry about that. When I went in, I turned off the mic to save my battery power on. I should have just left it on. It doesn't take that much power, I guess, to leave it on. So hopefully my audio isn't messed up from going from back and forth there. But anyways, this is interesting. The one thing about it is the Cheez-It crust steals the show. Sorry, sometimes I start something and I take a bite and it takes a little longer to chew, but the Cheez-It flavor really steals the show here. You know, as far as the pizza goes, as you get more, it's more like you're eating Cheez-Its than pizza. I mean, even though you got the sauce and everything there. The crust, I'm impressed by them. They did a damn good job at this. I mean, they set out to make a Cheez-It pizza, and that's exactly what they did. It's interesting. But like I said, as far as the stealing the show, it's like the rest of the flavor kind of gets drowned out on there. Because you got the pepperoni, you got supposed to be a real cheese on there, and you got a decent sauce on there. Which isn't bad, the rest of it, but yeah, if you gotta love Cheez-Its to like this pizza, and I happen to enjoy Cheez-Its, so to me this is a pretty darn good pizza. And saying that though, it's weird because it's so unique. Because I thought it was just going to be like more of a gimmick thing where it's going to be just like a regular frozen pizza. And, you know, they put the Cheez-It thing on there, and yeah, kind of like what, you know, like with Taco Bell with their Cheez-It stuff. I mean, you put it all in and you can't even really notice it when you put it in a crunch wrap. But it's like, in this case, it's like Cheez-It's front and center there. I mean, that crust is right there in your face. Perfect crust on that. But like I said, as far as the rest of the toppings, it's like, it's kind of like stealing a show from that. I mean, like I said, you don't really get the pepperoni and the sauce and the cheese. It's kind of like an afterthought, I guess you could say. I'm kind of torn on this one. This is an interesting one. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but it's like I wish there was more of a balance there. I mean, when you're eating it now, I mean, if you eat like the center section, yeah, you do get the other stuff does kind of come through a little bit. But I wish the sauce and that was more of a star of the show. I mean, they did put enough toppings on there, but it's just like, I'm not sure if it's because the sauce needs a little stronger flavor, maybe, to kind of make it stand out more, where you have an amazing sauce and then you have the awesome Cheez-It crust and you put it together and it's like, wow, this is great. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Because like I said, this is perfection, this crust. You couldn't have done any better for making a Cheez-It crust on this thing. The question I have to answer though is this any good? It's strange because there's aspects of it, like that crust is phenomenal. I mean, it's like, I love Cheez-Its. It's like, wow, you got the crust there that's nailing it. But it's like with everything together, when you have the rest of it, let me go in on a middle piece here. I'll take away the edges there. Like I said, that crust is a beautiful crust on there. And like I said, I cooked this to perfection today. This is perfect. I was watching it. I got this to perfection, but pat myself on the back. But like I said, I think the sauce could be a little stronger, and that's what's kind of like sinking it a little bit. Because, you know, it's a decent sauce, don't get me wrong. and they put a fair amount of sauce on there for what you got. This is a decent amount of topping, you know. Like the cheese did spread out and turn out nicely. Well, I guess on this part it's a little lower on the sauce in that spot, but you have little shinings of sauce on there. As far as like my final thoughts on this goes, it's interesting. I think it's worth trying. You know, if you love your Cheez-Its, it's so unique, and like I said, that crust is phenomenal. The toppings are the low point on it, though. The crust is perfect. I just wish they put better toppings. I mean, the cheese in that's fine. Don't get me wrong there. The sauce is what I should say. If they had a stronger sauce, something with a little more flair to it, that would have really elevated this pizza. As far as overall score of this, I wish I could give it a higher score. I'm going to give it like an 8. I give it, you know, like I said, the crust is good. Toppings could be better. That's what's kind of dragging it down from being an amazing pizza. It's a good pizza. If you see it in the cooler, the freezer there, give it a try. Like I said, it's interesting. So unique. I like that. But like I said, I'll give it an 8.0. That's what you get from me, Cheez-It pizza. But like I said, beautiful otherwise. But otherwise, I will let you go. I'll quit jabbering on here. I've been going on for quite a bit here if you put my 2 pieces of video together here. So I will let you get back to your day. I appreciate you watching. I'm going to do more outdoor videos. I got some hot challenges coming. I know, yeah, I know I'm getting slack for that. My hot challenges are coming back because I can enjoy the outdoors doing them. Who wants to do a hot challenge in a car? So, but now the weather's nice, so now hot challenges. I thought about doing some odd challenges too. Some like different, some nasty challenges like fermented worms and stuff like that, and pork brain, and I'm not sure if I can bring my stomach to doing it, but maybe it might be some fun entertainment anyways to do it. So maybe I'll do that in the future too. But hot challenges, I'm researching now. I will get some of those going for you guys to enjoy. Otherwise, I'm going to enjoy this pizza. Like I said, it gets an 8, but hey, I'm still going to sit here and enjoy this. So yeah, have a good day, everyone. Cheers. Thanks for watching. You guys rock. Bye-bye.